Hey, thanks so much for having me here, David. I'm sure you guys could hear my voice. I was actually supposed to go on yesterday, but I'm in Barcelona, and Barcelona is being hit by some crazy, crazy virus. And I've been out for the past 4 days. But to be honest with you, David even asked me if I wanted to come on because I was so sick. And I think coming here today is going to bring me back my energy because I've been laying around too much. So I'm excited to be here to present for you guys today. So I know that we are all here to listen to presentations and different strategies. However, I always have found that when we ask questions and become more interactive, that's when we actually learn a lot more. So please ask all your questions. There's never a bad question, ever, right? And usually what I find is when somebody asks one question, a lot of other people have the exact same question. So please ask any questions that come up, and let's begin. Today, I want to talk about simplifying your day trading strategy that you could dominate the market under any condition with 4 simple steps. And this is me. Usually, I'm very perky and full of energy. Today, as you can hear, I have more of a sultry type of a voice, but I am here and I'm very excited to present for you guys. So me and my family just recently have moved to Barcelona. I am an expat that lives here, but before this, I was an expat living in Guatemala. So right now, this is me in Barcelona. And the reason why I'm bringing up that I was a fitness instructor and a travel writer before I became a day trader is a lot of people believe that day trading, you have to have economic or math background, but the goal of day trading is that pretty much anyone can do it if you learn the strategy, if you apply yourself, and if you fully commit. And today I want to talk about 4 steps that I have taken and I have realized that truly have helped me become much more successful in trading. And I know that it could be the same for you. And it's interesting because I realized them because I am a trilingual person. I learned Spanish in my later years. And when I started to look at the market, I think when I started to look at the market from the point of view of learning a new language, that's when I recognized that we could all understand what the market is telling us. And once we understand what the market talks to us and tells us, that's when we can also start to listen to it properly. And I think I only realized that because I am trilingual. I was born in the Soviet Union, so I speak Russian fluently. However, I moved to the United States when I was really young. So I didn't actually learn English. I just kind of continued learning how to speak languages, and I was fluent within a month. However, Spanish, I started to learn that when I was in my 20s. And just the idea of that, of learning a new language in my 20s, is a completely different process. And I think after completely failing for like 1 or 2 years with trading and then looking at it, looking at it from a different perspective, everything changed. So my goal today is for you guys to start to see it in the same exact way. All right. So the coolest thing about trading, guys, is that we could do it from anywhere in the world. That is the best part about trading, right? You could take your computer, go anywhere as long as there's internet, and boom, you are ready to go. So to make it easier for you, I actually have the entire presentation. The entire presentation um, in a worksheet for you. So you could just go ahead and download it completely for free. TradeOutLoud.com. You could go and get the presentation here because I know David always has replays, and this way you could actually follow along with the replay just the same. It's completely free. You could download it right here, makingofadaytrader.com. All right, let's begin. So before anything, before we go anywhere, when people say that they want to day trade, you actually really need to have the proper vehicle for this, right? It's like if you want to be a Formula One racer, you're not going to get in a minivan and start racing, right? You're going to get into the proper vehicle. The same thing goes for day trading. You need to have the proper vehicle. And what is that? That is our platforms. You need to have a good, strong software. Just one. You don't need to buy algorithms or individual indicators. A good, strong platform is all that you'll need. I've been now doing this for over 11 years. So when I first started, there was only like two or three. Today there's like 30. And honestly, I've seen them all, and the majority of them are really good. So if you guys don't really understand which one works best for you, or which one, or how to set it up, I'm super happy to help you figure that out. I've seen them all, so I could easily help you go through all of that. Your platforms, they should come, and they do come with universal indicators. Okay, so universal indicators is all that you need. You do not need to spend extra money on other indicators and algorithms, because there's no point, right? The good, strong softwares of the platforms, they usually come with 100 to 150 different indicators that are already included and are free. Okay, so let's begin. 4 simple steps to dominate the market. First and foremost, we need to understand that there are 3 very strong trends. You have the upward trend, you have the sideways trend, and you have the downward trend. So we know about the upward and we understand the downward, but the sideways trend, I actually call this the trader's worst enemy, because this is usually where the majority of our money gets lost. Why is that? Because this is the exhaustion pattern, the chop. This is the sideways movement, the consolidation area. This is where there is no movement. This is where there's total indecision. And when we can spot it and stay out of it, that's when we start to save ourselves a lot of money. And we also start to save ourselves money, because we can also make a lot of money knowing when it breaks through that. So that's what I really want to focus on today. So we have trending markets, right? Downward, sideways, upward. So what is an upward trend? It's pretty basic, right? It's when each pivot is higher than the next pivot, right? It's when the market is flowing upward. This is what we call the bull market, the market trending up. This is where we are going long. This is where we are buying. What does that mean? Super simple. It means you're entering at a low price point, exiting at a higher price point, and you're taking the profit in between. Okay, boom. That's what it means. Going long. This is where you are buying. You're entering low, exiting high, taking the profit in between. What is a downward trend? It is literally the opposite, right? When each pivot is lower than the other, the market is flowing down. This is when we are shorting the market. This is where we are selling. What does that mean? Super simple, guys. You got to keep it super simple. It's literally entering high, exiting low, and taking your profit in between. That's it. Entering high, exiting low, and taking all that profit in between. This is when you are shorting the market. Okay, this is when you are shorting it. This is when the market is going down. This is what is called the bear market. All right, let's talk about these consolidation areas, the transition areas. Like I said before, I call it the trader's worst enemy. And once you learn how to spot them, you can avoid them, because this is where, if you look at your losses, usually the majority of the times it's in these types of areas. All right, so what is a consolidation area? First and foremost, you need to draw it out, right? You cannot do mental drawings. You need to have a drawing, just even a line, to show you where this channeling market is. Because if you look here, there's absolutely there's no decision, right? The market is just bouncing back and forth, back and forth, super narrow. There's no way to know where the market is going to go. Okay. And instead of trying to beat the market, instead of trying to predict what the market is going to do, the most powerful way to manage this is to sit out entirely. Why? Because this is where the majority of the money gets lost, because we don't know what the market is going to do. And we want to wait out and see when we have confirmation from the market. Okay, so here's that downward trend, upward trend, and this is a consolidation, an area, flat area. And a lot of times we could have very mini consolidations. We could have a lot of consolidations. We could have huge ones as well. But if you look here, do you really want to put your money in a place where there is absolutely no decision. There's no real movement when it's bouncing back and forth. No, you want to keep out entirely because that's going to be the hardest thing for you to do. All right, guys, how do we recognize this? How do we even start to understand where these areas are being respected? Because the thing is with the market respects areas, and we, as the traders, individual retail traders, we also need to truly respect these areas. And these areas are support and resistance areas. Okay, support and resistance areas, I call these our safety gears. Why? Because this is when we draw them in and we protect ourselves from when they bounce back and forth. We have a protection layer. We are telling ourselves, we are seeing where this market is respecting the areas and where it's hitting over and over again and bouncing off. So when you have these areas drawn in, you know where to, if you do enter the market, where to get out, and even more powerfully, to stay out until it breaks through that area entirely. So what is a resistance area? A resistance area is the ceiling of the market. It's when the market is going up and it starts to hit an area over and over and over again. It is hitting a ceiling. That is the resistance area. Okay. And the market could hit that area over and over again. And we need to understand that and respect it. The support area is literally the opposite. It is the floor of the market. It is when the market is hitting over and over and over again. It is the floor of the market, and we need to respect that area. And the only way to do that is by drawing it in. We need to have that drawn in so that we know where to avoid it and where to get out once we have hit it over and over again. These areas are super important to have drawn in, guys. They are free to draw. Every single software has these drawing tools, but they protect you. They completely protect you from entering bad trades. Okay. And that's how we could also draw in our channels because we have a resistance and we have a support. Look at this area. There's absolutely no range. There's no trend, right? We don't know if the market is going to go up. We don't know if the market is going to go down, but we do know that it's flat. It's a flat line. And when you draw it out, we could also look to see where it breaks through because breakouts are the most powerful trades there are. And I'm going to get to those in just a few minutes. For the meantime, I want you guys to understand this, okay? Because so many people lose money in these specific areas, and it can be 100% avoided. That's the beauty of it. 100% avoided. Look at this ugly area. Even though it's wide, it's still, there's no real decision, right? There's still no flow. It's just bouncing back and forth. Okay. So we have to understand these, draw these areas in. Now, the most important thing to understand is how do we recognize them when they're first forming? And this I call traders map to shift in direction and trend. And this is the reversal areas and divergences. I absolutely love these. These are my absolute favorite. Reversal areas, what are they? Double tops, triple tops, double bottoms, triple bottoms, head and shoulders. These areas are just the best. And the coolest thing about them all is that they're free and you can spot them on any instrument that you guys trade. Any instrument. Okay, right here, this is a perfect example of a double top turned into a triple top. Okay, look at that. Perfect. What does that mean? Does it mean that it's going to be 100% reversal? No, but it is a very, very high chance that there's going to be either a reversal or a complete slowdown in the market. And you don't want to be putting your money into the market if it's a slowdown, right? Now, when we see a double bottom with divergence, that is just the golden key. So what is divergence? To me, divergence is where you see here the price action, it's completely straight, but look at my MACDs. They are going the opposite direction. That is what divergence is. Okay, I have a question here. What do you do if you see a bearish and a bullish pattern at the same time? I'm not even sure what that means. Sometimes, a lot of times, we like to overthink things. I just know what the market tells me. And right in front of me, the market is telling me that it is slowing down. Oops, I just did something that is slowing down. And when I see this, I stay out entirely because then what happens is, boom, the market then takes off and I could now enter a whole new trend. And a new trend is where you get the most amount of energy, the most amount of power. So when I see a double bottom with a reversal pattern and a divergence, I stay out because I listen to the market and the market is telling me, stay out. This is the time that I am losing energy. I am losing speed. Stay out. Wait until I give you that confirmation. And once I get that confirmation, then I jump in, and that is a very high probability trade. Okay, right here, triple top. Look at that, triple bottom, triple top, massive divergence right there. Okay, guys, let's put all of this together. Like I said, I have all of this in a cheat sheet for you guys. Go to makingofadaytrader.com. Go to makingofadaytrader.com. And I know that David is going to have this entire presentation on replay so that you guys could go through it step by step with the presentation. Now, I want to talk about breakout areas because breakouts are the most powerful trades there are. Why? Because this is when we recognize an area that has been not going anywhere, has broken through, and has gained a lot of energy. And the only way we can do that is by recognizing when there is a resistance area, when there is a support area, because it works the same both ways and it breaks through. For instance, if you are going high, right? If we are in an upward trend and all of a sudden it's flat, dead, no trend at all. And then boom, it breaks through. That is that breakout. And we want to be able to get in as quickly as possible once we see that breakout happen. So the way I do it is by looking at my MACDs. So I personally love the MACDs. For me, the MACDs, this is right here, these red dots, they are the highest probabilities for me because they are the least lagging indicator as well. Okay. So as you can see right here, I have this massive resistance right here. This dotted line, it is a flat line. This is zero. This shows that there's absolutely no strength here. But then all of a sudden, boom, I break through, and look at this breakthrough right here on the MACDs. So this is where I'm going to start to look for those entry points. That's how I recognize when the market is giving me that go ahead. You see, it's totally flat here, totally flat. But boom, it breaks through, breaks out, and my MACDs are confirming that. Another important trade is the initial reaction trade setup. Okay, so right here, we also have this drawn out. We've been going up, but all of a sudden, boom, my MACDs have broken through and are now showing me massive, massive strength, including my price action to the downside, right? So here we want to enter as early as possible because when a new trend forms, that is usually the strongest time to enter because that's when the amount of energy is behind that new trend forming. And if you can get in as early as possible, your chances of getting a highest probability trade and getting a lot of profit is the highest when it just changes that direction. And that is all by viewing exactly what is happening right there. So here's the thing, guys. We have everything that we need, right, to take action. Everything. We have these presentations. We have YouTube channels. We have podcasters. We have books. We have so much at our fingertips. But then at the end of the day, when we come to our own charts, how do we know that we are doing it right? How do we know that we are taking the right steps? How do we know we're doing it right? And all of this is great, but at the end of the day, how do you I get people asking me, how do I get started? And it's not only from beginners. Quite a lot of seasoned traders ask me this. People who are still losing money or they're not consistent. They're asking me, how can I become profitable consistently over and over again? And a lot of times it's literally just because they are lacking those basic ideas, those basic, what I like to say is that We are putting in windows without our walls, and the windows come crashing down over and over again, right? But when you have your foundation, when you have those bricks holding up those windows, that's when you can start to take better and better trades. And usually that's the basics. For instance, when you jump in the car today, you don't think twice. You know exactly where the ignition is, where the steering wheel is, where your gears are. But when you first sat down in that car, did you know where the clutch was? Did you know how to release your brake, to release the clutch at the same time so that you could change your gear? Probably not. It took you a while to learn that, but today it's automatic, right? And that's the same thing when it comes to trading. And even more importantly, imagine somebody who has never been in a car, sits in the car, and you telling them, okay, buckle up your seatbelt, it's going to save your life. And they're looking around, they're like, what's a seatbelt? I don't know what a seatbelt is. Because nobody's ever taught them the most basic and most important information. Okay. But that's the thing that's going to save their lives. And that's exactly what happened to me for years. I spent over $20,000 on my trainings with all the different chat rooms and academies and mentors. And I was constantly treated as if though I knew about these basics, and I didn't. I was struggling for years. And whenever I asked basic questions, can you please explain to me what is a support area? Can you please explain to me what is a reversal? I was treated as if though I was born with that information. And we're not. None of us are born with that information. Or even worse, I was usually ignored until I thought that it was all about me. I remember sitting in a chat room listening to somebody say about some great trade, which I did not see. But if they're saying it's a good trade, I started to run after that trade. I was chasing it, and boom, I ended up losing $4,000 within 5 minutes, and I quit. I couldn't do it anymore. I felt like I was such a loser. I felt totally defeated because everybody else is doing it and I can't. But here's the thing about trading is that we are all bit by this trading bug, right? We're bit by this trading bug and we cannot stop itching. Do you know why that is though? Because deep down inside, we know that we could do this. In the same token, when I was seeing them talk about those trades, I was seeing that other people are doing it. So that means that I could do it too. And that's when I decided to get back to the basics. I decided to come back. I stripped my charts completely, only bare naked charts, because I knew that I needed to get back to the basics. I needed to understand everything that was there. And I did this for about 8 months. And then I slowly started to put in indicators, and I now trade with two indicators, my EMA lines and the MACDs, and nothing else. And it's funny because a couple of years back, one of my students says to me, they're like, Marina, your training philosophy, the way you're teaching is very similar to Coach John Wooden. And I'm like, who is Coach John Wooden? I've never heard of this guy. And I looked him up, and this man was a legendary coach for basketball and actually for personal development. Legendary. But his entire philosophy was when in doubt, get back to the basics. This guy has won over 88 national championships. He has won 10 NCAA. I mean, this guy has more accolades than any of us. He has trained the A-listers, I mean, top of the line basketball players, but every single time he started a season with his players, he would start from the basics. How to tie your shoe, how to roll up your socks, how to dribble your ball. Why? Because it doesn't matter what these guys knew. If they're on the court and their shoe isn't tied, boom, they could sprain their ankle, their shoe could fall off, whatever, and then they're sitting out for the rest of the season. So understanding and building those building blocks to hold in those windows, that is going to be the most important thing of all. And that is exactly what I have for you guys today. I have a very special offer for only you guys today. It is my introductory course, Bootcamp for day trading. You guys could do this on any apparatus, on a tablet, phones, laptops, desktops, anywhere. And all of this, one-time fee, $97. Let's go here right now. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. Go to bootcampfordaytrading.com and let's follow along what you'll get for this $97. Because let's be honest, what do you get for $97 today? Do you guys like to play golf? Because I know for a fact that just going to play golf today is at least $120 to $150 in the crappiest golf courses. You like to go out to lunches? I don't know. Me and my husband go out to eat quite a lot, and for $97, you can barely feed two people with wine today. So $97. This is what you guys will be getting. You'll get a simplified day trading package. 30-minute. You will get a 30-minute setup tutorial of your platform. Like I mentioned earlier, I have seen all of these platforms come around, all of them. So I can easily help you, and I do. 30 minutes, you are up and running so that we can get to the fun stuff, and that is the trading. We want to jump in and start trading. We will be dissecting the markets, uptrending, the sideways, the downward trending. We will also be looking at the reversal areas and divergences because I call those the magic tail signs. This is we go over all of it in detail, truly breaking it down because reversal patterns, they have been my magic tools. Also, divergences. I love divergences. They, to me, have been like my golden go-to because when your price action is going in one direction and my MACD is going the opposite direction, it is telling me, get out. Don't go right now because the market isn't sure what it's doing. It is losing its speed. It is losing its strength. Stay out. Wait until you get confirmation. And then we really dive deep into the breakout mastery, the power of the breakout. We learn how to spot those breakouts, but also we learn to avoid the fake out breakouts because they happen and they are real. Okay. We want to avoid the fake out breakouts. So that is all that you'll learn in all of this, and you'll have unlimited access to the curriculum. All of this is valued at $1,600. You'll get all of this, and I have two bonuses for you. But first, here are some testimonials from my students, and I have students from all around the world. Michelle, best money I have ever spent. Just finished the boot camp. It's absolutely invaluable. Derek, you are the only mentor that truly checks the work. Absolutely amazing. Adrian, I am enjoying your boot camp so much. I am learning every single day. But let me share something really important with you guys. What did I mention in the beginning? How do you know you're doing it right? After watching a YouTuber or listening to a summit or reading a book, how do you know you're doing it right? So I have included a bonus part of the $97. Like I said before, the $97 is one-time fee. You will get one entire month mentorship, one-on-one with me, 1 month coaching, nonstop, unlimited feedback with me so that you guys know exactly what you are doing because this mentorship could be what can take you to that limit, to that next level. And I have another really great bonus for you guys. I run a live trade chat room. It's me, not any moderator, not any administrator. And that is included in your $97, 30 days free membership. Okay, all of this is valued at $2,600, but only for you guys, only for the people that are live, $97. I want you guys to go right here, right now. Put this in your navigator, bootcampfordaytrading.com. Go here right now, bootcampfordaytrading.com. Again, here's what you guys will be getting. Everything in the course. 30 days one-on-one mentorship with me. 30 days live chat room membership. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. And the reality is, all of this is worth less than the price of one trade. I don't know about you guys, but the average trade is usually between $200 to $400. I know because I've been there, I do it. That's usually around how much this is. So it's less than one trade. One trade, guys, it's a no-brainer. The cost of this course will give you 10x the return on your investment. So you have 100 of these dinners. But here's the thing, this is really, really important. Because of the mentorship, I only have space for 25 people. And I see that there is a full house here tonight. And I usually sell out. So I really recommend jumping on right now because I can only take on 25 people. So I can really, really devote my time and attention to you guys with your mentorships. So go here right now. When you go here, this is where it's going to take you. Bootcamp for day trading.com. This is the order form. And you see right here, payment one time, $97. If you do want a payment plan, you could get two for the 2 months, $59, but you get automatic access to absolutely everything. So go here right now, bootcamp for day trading.com. Okay, I have a couple of questions here. The month starts whenever you are ready. I know that we are on the holiday season right now, and a lot of us are going to be busy. So a lot of people just get this because this is an insane deal. I never sell this at this price ever, except for this live presentation. So for instance, if you get it today and you want to start mid-January, that's when your month will begin. This is for all instruments. So I show you how to work with the charts live. We work together. So you tell me what you are trading so that we can totally do it together. And it is what you will be trading. All right, guys. So go here again, bootcamp for daytrading.com. Bootcamp for daytrading.com. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. And I know that I'm cutting this a little bit short, and I really, really appreciate the fact that you spent this time with me. And I'm just excited that I have had a chance to do this, but I am kind of at my energy level. And I just wanted to say thank you for joining. And once I'm better, I have 1,000 times more energy, and I love to work with my students. So please join me, bootcampfordaytrading.com. And thank you, David, so much for changing my time slot and for being so patient. And thanks, everybody.